Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face-Off Hockey Show.
You know, there was a lot more building up to Vegas than there was to Seattle. And there are a lot more names out there for Seattle than there was for Vegas, I want to say.
I feel like Vegas did that themselves, though.
Just because it's Vegas and they hyped it up a lot?
Well, didn't Vegas have like that pre-show where they announced their jerseys and everything, and it was like a big event on the strip, and then the Vegas was the first expansion team in years, 12 years, 17 years. So maybe that got some hype around it.
You know what? I believe you're right because Seattle, when their team got announced, they announced the jerseys the same day.
Yeah,
like zero buildup.
Yeah.
We got the first check-in. Here's the name. Here's the jerseys. We'll see in about 5 months.
So, I feel like Vegas set some of their own hype.
I think a lot of people knew off the bat that Marc-Andre Fleury was going there.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of leaks coming out from Vegas.
I don't either.
No.
I mean, the Marc-Andre Fleury one leaked early because he showed up there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people knew that was a foregone conclusion, too. Like, even after the Cup final. It was like, hey, Marc-Andre Fleury is in his last game in the Penguins uniform.
Yeah.
He was carried there by Matt Murray, who will soon be carried out of Pittsburgh on a stake.
Right. Medium rare.
Right. So, yeah, the event here, I mean, obviously with no draft, it doesn't coincide with much. Although Vegas didn't either. They held it in Vegas. And the draft was in Chicago.
Well, wasn't Vegas's with the award show?
Oh, that's right. You're right. It was intertwined.
Yeah, because I remember Leahy being super angry that he was in Vegas and then had to fly to Chicago because the draft was the next day.
Well, dude, lucky this time it's virtual. I wonder if he wasn't going to go to Seattle. We would have heard about it by now.
No, he's not in Seattle, I'm sure.
Well, his company no longer. His company's worked on the Olympics. It's Olympic boy Sean Leahy. It's 5-ring boy Sean Leahy.
So I saw that there were pics being leaked. I cannot find a
you want it?
A list of those players. The leaked, the big leak. The leak's big.
Yes. We can send it to you.
Okay.
Mark leaks big.
I assumed it would be on Wikipedia because Wikipedia usually gets updated pretty quickly, but Wikipedia is not updated.
No, Wikipedia has a little more tact. They're waiting for the TV version to come out.
Yeah, they're way more tactful. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Their journalistic integrity is well known.
Right. It's on Vox, Mark.
Okay, thank you.
So there we go.
So I was not unhappy as a Caps fan about them picking Vitek Vanacek.
So you're all in for Varley. Fuck. You're all in for Samsonov, huh?
I'm not, but the way that I see it, Vanacek was never supposed to really be a major part of this team. Lundqvist was supposed to be the backup, and Vanacek was supposed to be in Hershey all along. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they took a guy that was as Lyle mentioned on this show, inconsistent in his first year. I don't know. I'm not that upset about this. So the other thing here that I'm thinking, there's not you don't really see a big ticket name on this list.
Yeah, really, that's what we've all said.
So I have a theory.
Side deals?
I have a theory that they're saving money. Not necessarily to make side deals, but to make deals at the draft for big name players on expensive contracts whose teams are looking for cap space. They've left themselves a lot of room here to go off after the Evgeny Kuznetsovs of the world here, right?
Okay. I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good point, sir.
So what if Ron Francis goes to GMBM at the draft and says, "I'll give you a 3rd round pick next year for Kuznetsov." You think he takes that deal?
Oh,
I
please.
bet he does.
In a heartbeat.
And a 3rd-round pick next year for Seattle is like practically nothing for what may wind up being a first-line center on this team. I mean, I see Francis because this is one of those situations where the flat cap teams aren't.
Johnny, flat cap!
There you go. I mentioned it early.
Than't you.
Teams are not going to have a lot of opportunity over the next few years to get wiggle room, especially with guys that are on long-term contracts that are expensive. And on top of that, Seattle has flexibility because they're not necessarily going to need a farm system right away. So trading draft picks, like next year's draft picks, it's not going to be a huge deal for them, I don't think.
Right.
So if they can get guys that are not necessarily bad players right now, but just maybe a little too expensive for their teams to build around, I think they've put themselves in a good position to go after a couple big names in the offseason, not necessarily just free agents. I'm talking about trades here.
Trades.
I wouldn't be surprised if Francis pulls off a pretty big deal with a player that's already under contract before the season starts.
I hope you're right. That would shake things up a lot.
Lyle would love it.
He would. It would put him in business. Ian Furness of Sports Radio.
It's so hot right now.
Oh, he's on the hot stove. Of Sports Radio KJR and Q13 Fox in Seattle says the general consensus around the NHL. Kraken roster is good on the blue line, potentially solid in goal, but very thin up front. It's the Marc Batanzo effect.
Wait, what are you trying to say about my?
Wow.
We have video. He said the side deals coming.
Good in Cole.
Yeah, they have cap space and side deals are coming. I will say this about Marc's draft, and we did mock the fuck out of it. And Sean Leahy did piss on it and all over it.
It was a mock draft, though.
It was.
Yeah.
But the thing about Marc's draft is he kind of systematically did what Seattle is doing, paying real low, by and large, for their roster that they pick in order to pick up what Marc said, trading picks and the like for actual name players. So
maybe Marc has inside information.
Marc's going to join the Jelly Face-Off soon.
I was throwing you off the scent by picking the wrong guys.
That's what that smell was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Trevor Van Riemsdyk thing should have been an indicator for me. But
I mean, really, how many mock drafts had, pick Vitek Vanacek, for instance. I don't think anybody thought that they were going to take Vanacek. Everybody assumed they were going to take one of the defensemen that
good goalies
is overpriced, right? For the Caps, from the Caps, I mean, or like a Carl Hagelin or a Connor Sheary. Vitek Vanacek.
No one thought that. At least he's out of division and conference. So there's that. Yeah.
They have two Flurries. They have a Hayden Fleury and a Cale Fleury.
Yeah, buddy. It's a Fleury. They're going to trade for Marc-Andre. It's going to be the greatest thing.
Cal Fleury is actually just a new DQ.
Yeah.
The thing with Cale Fleury is he's very tough.
Right. But he's a super.
Yeah, he's super.
Food.
And Hayden just forgot.
Who the hell are these people?
Right?
Half these people I've never even heard of.
Gavin Bayreuther?
So Marc.
The hell is that?
I had Jared McCain getting picked, but from the Penguins. Does that count when he got picked by the Maple Leafs?
From the Maple Leafs?
Yeah, we all had Jared McCann picked from Pittsburgh.
What the hell is a Cali Jarncock, by the way? Well, whatever. Go ahead.
We all had him. The second hour yet.
Yeah,
we all had Jared McCann. Yes,
yeah,
you did.
You too.
Yeah.
So by the way, Kelly Yarncroc was a big force on that Nashville.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Jarncock.
I did have Ryan Graves on my team though, who got traded.
Yeah, he got traded to beforehand. Oopsie poopsie.
Carson Twarinsky.
Twarinsky, yeah.
What the hell is that?
I didn't even know he was in a system. I thought that was like one of those names they do in EA Sports when you reach year 15 of the dynasty.